Today's protagonist in GialloZafferano kitchen is a classic dish of Piedmont cuisine. Rice with salsiccia, sausage. If you're in Piedmont, you can say salsiccia, thanks to 19th century royal decree. What do we need to make this great classic of Piedmontese cuisine? Sausage, bay leaf, rosemary, red wine, spring onion, Carnaroli rice, Parmesan cheese, onion, butter, white wine, broth, oil and pepper. Let's start by heating the broth. Now slice the spring onion. We clean it, keeping only the white part. Removing the first layer will be enough. We're also lucky because we have twins, so that spring onion here will give us a lot of symmetry because I don't want to slice it completely. But cut it into wedges. Drizzle of oil. Very little butter. Brown the spring onion. Leave it cut in slightly larger pieces so they can give a sense of consistency. When we eat the rice, we'll find the fresh onion that will explode in our mouth with the sausage. I add a pinch of pepper, and now that the onions are golden, I remove them from the pan and keep them aside. Now I proceed preparing the sausage. Let's clean it. We'll remove the skin. And cut it into small pieces. Now this is sausage paste. Remember that this risotto must take into account the sapidity of the sausage. So taste it. We go ahead cooking in a single pan, so we also do a little bit of domestic economy in the washing up, because there's always someone who has to do the dishes. We have the spring onion cooking juice. Let's use that because it is now delicious. The oil and butter. And you see it's not burnt because we kept the fire low and we need it to saute the sausage. Add a bay leaf in the pan. Half a sprig of rosemary and saute lightly. We keep the other half and dice it small in little dices, because we will need it to garnish the risotto. The sausage is brown in only on one side. We make it crunchy on one side and keep it soft on the other. We can soak it in Nebbiolo red wine. The sausage is cooking. It's in its Nebbiolo bath. We let it reduce and we can start with the risotto. Dicing an onion is probably the ABC of cooking, right? The first thing they taught us in school, or like when you start cooking. They make you clean and chop an onion. I'll now show you the easiest way to dice an onion. If we have a good start, we'll have it practically chopped in a minute. If we start it wrong, it will take a long time. We begin to make incisions close to each other. We rotate it and make an incision at the bottom. Here you have to carefully mind your fingers. And more or less, we are already down the size of the saute, so you just need to finish it, and the onion is almost ready for the saute. The sausage is ready, the juice is almost completely reduced. We can remove it from the heat, let it cool down, away from the flame. Let's start the risotto. Warm up the pot a little bit. Half a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. 20 grams of butter. So little fat because we already have the sausage that already has an important consistency. We put the onion to saute. The rice. Now, contrary to what is normally recommended for the cooking risotto, which is to toast it and make it vitreous, I prefer to reduce the thermal shock for the risotto, so I practically immediately bathe it in white wine. We can proceed by pouring the broth. After soaking the rice with the broth, we must lower the temperature, because you have to let the rice inflate slowly. Cooking at high temperature, boiling too strong, will split the grain. This bubble here, we had to see this bubble here, not a more aggressive bubble. And we can also continue to add the broth. We're coming to the last 5 minutes of cooking time to start to whisk it. Then we put some butter. Here we have at least 40 grams of butter, and here the Parmesan. Well, we just need to let the rice rest for the last 4 minutes, so just until the grain swells up, and then we can serve. Risotto with sausage, nebbiolo and spring onion, or royal salchicha. Cook it yourself.